Power. It's everywhere, in business, politics, even your friendships. Whether you like it or not, power shapes your world. Today, we're diving into the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, one of the most talked about, controversial, and brutally honest self-help books ever written. From mastering the art of manipulation to knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, this book is a strategic guide for anyone who wants to rise, survive, or simply understand how power works. But fair warning, this book isn't about playing nice, it's about playing smart. Every law is backed by real historical examples of emperors, generals, schemers, and survivors. So if you're ready to unlock the secrets of power that most people never dare to speak out loud, then keep watching. This is the 48 Laws of Power, explained. Law 1. Never outshine the master. In every hierarchy, there's someone above you. They might be a boss, a mentor, or a figure of authority. The first law is deceptively simple. Never make them feel inferior. It's tempting to show your brilliance, especially when you know you can do something better. But power is delicate. People in positions of authority often carry deep insecurities. If your talents make them feel overshadowed, you won't be rewarded. You'll be punished. It's not about hiding your capabilities, it's about managing how they're perceived. Shine, but not so brightly that it blinds the person holding the torch above you. Nicolas Fouquet was the finance minister to Louis XIV. Ambitious and wealthy, he threw an extravagant party in honor of the king, showcasing his palace, wealth, and influence. Instead of being impressed, Louis XIV saw a threat. Days later, Fouquet was arrested and spent the rest of his life in prison. Why? He outshone the master. The king didn't want a rival. He wanted a servant who knew his place. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. We tend to trust our friends because they're familiar. We assume they'll support us, have our back, and protect our interests. But history shows that friends are often the first to betray, sometimes out of envy, other times because they expect too much. The dynamic becomes emotional and messy. Enemies, by contrast, have something to prove. When they're brought into your circle, they often overcompensate to win your favor and your forgiveness. That makes them more reliable, more driven. True power lies in turning enemies into allies and keeping friends at a strategic distance. Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor of Germany, knew how to play this game. Instead of surrounding himself with friends, he appointed rivals and former enemies to key positions. He believed they'd work harder to justify their place, and they did. Meanwhile, he kept personal friendships separate from politics. It wasn't cold. It was calculated. Power demands loyalty, not sentiment. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Power favors those who play the long game. And to play it well, you need to be unreadable. If people know your goals, they can block or sabotage you. But if you hide your intentions, if you throw in distractions, decoys, or a friendly mask, they'll drop their guard. This isn't deception for cruelty's sake, it's protection. Concealing your intentions gives you room to maneuver. The less others know, the more they speculate, and the more control you have over the story being told. Julius Caesar was a master of hidden ambition. For years, he posed as a loyal servant of the Roman Republic, gaining trust while quietly building power. By the time people realized he was aiming for dictatorship, it was too late. He crossed the Rubicon, seized Rome, and declared himself ruler for life. Caesar didn't lie. He simply kept his true motives cloaked until it was too dangerous to oppose him. Law 4. Always say less than necessary words are powerful, but too many words dilute your strength. When you speak less, you leave space for interpretation. People will project their own meanings onto your silence, often giving you more credit than you deserve. The more you talk, the more chances you have to say something foolish, to reveal a weakness, or to show your hand. Silence, on the other hand, creates an aura. It can intimidate, confuse, or provoke. Power often rests not in action, but in restraint. President Calvin Coolidge was famously quiet. At a dinner party, a woman bet she could get more than 2 words out of him. He replied, "You lose." That kind of brevity made him seem in control, mysterious, and unshakable. In contrast, politicians who talk too much risk exposing contradictions or losing respect. Coolidge knew that silence could command attention more effectively than a speech. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is a form of invisible armor. It precedes you in every room, influences how others treat you, and often decides your opportunities before you speak. A good reputation can open doors, command respect, and protect you from attack. But once tarnished, it's hard to restore. That's why you must protect it constantly, defend it against rumors, rivals, and your own mistakes. Build a reputation carefully, then use it to intimidate, negotiate, and expand your influence. In ancient China, generals would cultivate fierce reputations. Some exaggerated their cruelty, others their brilliance. One general's name alone was enough to cause enemy troops to surrender without a fight. That's power without action. And today, it's no different. A CEO's reputation can affect a stock price. A public figure's misstep can trigger a fall from grace. Your reputation is your most valuable currency. Spend it wisely and protect it fiercely. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Invisibility is fatal in the power game. If no one sees you, no one remembers you. And if you're forgotten, you're powerless. Standing out, not just with talent, but with timing, flair, and boldness, makes people take notice. Attention brings influence. Of course, too much attention can be dangerous, but being overlooked is worse. You must learn to craft an image, to perform when needed, and to insert yourself into the center of conversations and spaces of influence. P.T. Barnum built an empire not by selling anything new, but by mastering spectacle. He knew how to create buzz, generate controversy, and keep the spotlight on himself. Even when critics mocked him, he welcomed it. "I don't care what they say about me," he said, "as long as they're talking." That principle holds true today, in politics, media, and online. Attention isn't just an asset, it's survival. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Efficiency isn't about doing everything yourself, it's about orchestrating resources and people to serve your purpose. The powerful know how to use the skills, labor, and ideas of others to advance their own goals. This is not about stealing credit, but about directing the spotlight where it benefits you most. Let others sweat, toil, and build, then place yourself at the center of the results. It's the appearance of power that often matters more than its source. Thomas Edison is hailed as a genius inventor, and in many ways, he was. But what made him powerful was his ability to harness the work of others. He had a full team of engineers and researchers working in his labs, people who made breakthroughs behind the scenes. Yet Edison ensured that his name was the one the world remembered. He built a personal brand around being the face of innovation, even when others did the heavy lifting. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you chase, you give up control. When others come to you, you set the terms. Power flows toward those who create gravity, who draw others into their orbit. To do this, you must create value, mystery, or desire. Sometimes that means offering something tempting, a bit of bait. But the goal is always the same. Never appear needy or desperate. Be the prize that others seek. During peace negotiations, Napoleon Bonaparte refused to travel to foreign courts. He made diplomats come to him, on his schedule, on his ground, with his terms. This gave him a constant psychological edge. He controlled the pace, the environment, and the outcome. In modern life, think of elite universities or exclusive brands. They don't advertise heavily. They make people come to them, drawn by status, scarcity, and image. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Words rarely change minds. Arguments stir emotions, provoke defensiveness, and create resistance. Even if you win the argument, the other person often walks away resentful. The better path to power is through demonstration. Actions carry undeniable proof. They silence opposition not through logic, but through results. When people see your effectiveness, they're forced to acknowledge your position, whether they agree with you or not. Galileo Galilei didn't argue endlessly about the heliocentric model of the universe. Instead, he built telescopes and presented observable evidence. His discoveries were so compelling that even those who doubted him were forced to consider the possibility that the Earth revolved around the Sun. The lesson: don't waste breath on persuasion. Build, prove, act. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Emotions are contagious. Surround yourself with negativity, and it will infect your thinking, energy, and judgment. Misery seeks company, not for comfort, but for validation. Some people attract bad luck, chaos, or drama. They are emotional black holes. To preserve your power, you must guard your environment. Avoid those whose problems are chronic, who always blame others, and who never improve. Compassion doesn't mean self-destruction. In the French court, there was a noblewoman known for constant scandals and social disasters. Anyone who got too close to her eventually fell into disfavor or ruin. Smart courtiers kept their distance, not because they lacked empathy, but because they valued survival. Today, the principle still holds. Emotional energy is a resource. Don't spend it recklessly on people who drain rather than build. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Independence may feel noble, but if others can walk away from you easily, you have no leverage. Power grows when people rely on you, when your presence becomes essential to their goals. The key is to create situations where your absence would be a loss. This doesn't mean manipulation, it means value. Make yourself irreplaceable, and people will protect your position for you. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, her chief advisor William Cecil made himself indispensable. He managed everything, from diplomacy to finance, so thoroughly that the Queen couldn't govern effectively without him. His position was never seriously threatened because his absence would have created chaos. In modern workplaces, the same applies. Become the person who knows the systems, solves problems, and holds key relationships. Power follows necessity. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. A single act of honesty can erase years of suspicion. Generosity can soften hardened hearts. Used strategically, these tools can lower defenses and create trust exactly when you need it. But the key word is selective. Too much honesty is dangerous. Too much generosity invites exploitation. The real power lies in the contrast. When you're unexpectedly open or kind, people relax. That's when they're most vulnerable. Con artists often begin by returning a lost wallet or refusing a tip. These small, honest acts create trust. Once the target lets their guard down, the scam begins. In less sinister terms, think of business deals where a small but meaningful concession paves the way for a much larger gain. Power players understand timing. A single gesture, well placed, can change everything. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People are driven by their own needs, not yours. When you need assistance, don't rely on past favors or appeals to kindness. That creates obligation, something most people try to escape. Instead, frame your request in a way that shows how they benefit. Show them what's in it for them. Make your success their success. Appealing to self-interest feels less like begging and more like opportunity. During the Peloponnesian War, the Athenian general Themistocles asked for help from a rival Greek city. Rather than remind them of past alliances or plead for mercy, he argued that their support would protect their own future trade routes and security. He made it their problem, and in doing so, secured their aid. In today's world, the same applies. Whether it's a business pitch or a personal request, align your goals with the other person's interest, not their sympathy. Law 14. Pose as a friend. Work as a spy. Information is power. The more you know about others, their desires, weaknesses, routines, the more leverage you have. But direct interrogation rarely works. Instead, use charm. Ask questions under the guise of casual conversation. Encourage others to open up by making them feel safe. Meanwhile, reveal little about yourself. The most powerful players gather intelligence while appearing harmless. Cardinal Richelieu, the infamous French statesman, surrounded himself with informants disguised as servants, entertainers, and even friends. By the time his political enemies acted, he already knew their plans. Today, this plays out in corporate settings, where sharp operators gather office gossip, study behavioral patterns, and build private knowledge networks, all while smiling across the conference table. The rule is simple. Listen more than you speak. Observe more than you reveal. Law 15. Crush your enemy. Totally, half measures are dangerous. When you strike at an opponent, make sure they can't recover. A wounded enemy will regroup, remember, and retaliate. If you must defeat someone, do so in a way that leaves no room for comeback. Mercy may feel noble, but in power dynamics, it's often a risk. If you leave your enemy standing, you're leaving a threat alive. Octavian, later known as Augustus, faced his rival Mark Antony in a power struggle after Julius Caesar's death. Rather than coexist, Octavian launched a ruthless propaganda campaign, declared Antony a traitor, and pursued him to his death. After Antony and Cleopatra committed suicide, Octavian stood alone, unopposed, and became Rome's first emperor. Power demands finality. A clean end removes future chaos. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much availability cheapens your value. When people can access you anytime, they take you for granted. But when you become scarce, when you step back at the right moment, you create intrigue, raise your perceived worth, and draw attention. Absence creates mystery, and mystery creates power. Knowing when to disappear is just as important as knowing when to appear. Napoleon would often vanish from public view during key military or political moments. His absence wasn't a retreat, it was a tactic. When he re-emerged, he drew massive crowds. People missed him, speculated about him, needed him. In modern times, think of artists or entrepreneurs who go quiet only to return with a bold new project or product. Their absence builds demand. Don't oversaturate, make your presence an event. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Predictability breeds control for others. When people can anticipate your moves, they can prepare, counter, and manipulate you. But when your actions are unexpected, you disrupt their plans and throw them off balance. Unpredictability makes people nervous. It forces them to think twice, and in that hesitation, you gain the upper hand. Richard Nixon, during the Cold War, used what became known as the madman theory. He intentionally acted erratic, signaling that he might be capable of extreme action, even nuclear war. This unpredictability made foreign powers cautious, unwilling to provoke him. Whether in diplomacy or in business, being too consistent can be a weakness. Surprise keeps people guessing, and guessing keeps them in check. Law. 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Insecurity often tempts people to withdraw, to build walls, avoid risk, and isolate from threats. But this isolation also cuts you off from information, alliances, and influence. In today's world, power lies in connectivity. The more you're involved, informed, and aware of shifting dynamics, the safer and stronger you are. A fortress may feel secure, but it becomes a prison. The Ming dynasty's emperors retreated into the Forbidden City, isolating themselves from both the people and their ministers. As internal corruption grew and external threats mounted, they were blind to the changes until it was too late. Their isolation hastened their downfall. In contrast, savvy leaders like Abraham Lincoln filled his cabinet with rivals. He wanted access to every perspective, even hostile ones. Isolation breeds ignorance. Engagement breeds control. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Power isn't just about what you do, it's about who you do it to. People differ in their sensitivities, pride, and pain points. Some forgive, others never forget. Some strike back immediately, others wait for the perfect moment. You must learn to read people before you act. Offend the wrong person, and even a small slight can spark a war that consumes you. In Renaissance Italy, Cesare Borgia once offended a nobleman with a casual insult. That man, who seemed minor at the time, later orchestrated an alliance of enemies that nearly toppled Borgia's rule. Underestimating someone's pride cost him dearly. Today, it might be a silent colleague who later becomes your boss, or a client whose ego you bruised and whose business you lose. Power is a game of awareness. Know your opponent's nature before making a move. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. To tie yourself to one side is to limit your freedom. The powerful remain unattached, shifting their loyalty when it benefits them most. When you commit to no one, you become the one everyone wants to win over. People will try to prove their worth to you, offer you better deals, and compete for your favor. It's not about betrayal, it's about independence. Queen Elizabeth I was a master of political non-commitment. She received marriage proposals from powerful rulers across Europe, but never accepted. Instead, she used their interest to form alliances, gain concessions, and maintain England's autonomy. Her refusal to commit gave her unmatched leverage. In modern terms, the freelancer who works for multiple companies may command more value than the employee locked into one. Keep your options open, and others will fight to keep you near. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Few things are more disarming than underestimation. If people think you're naive, inexperienced, or harmless, they lower their defenses. They reveal more, take greater risks, and relax their guard. Meanwhile, you gather information, control the flow, and strike when they least expect it. Playing dumb is often smarter than acting smart. In poker, legendary players like Phil Ivey or Stu Ungar would occasionally make foolish plays early in a game to appear clumsy or overconfident. Their opponents would grow arrogant, only to be systematically dismantled later. In politics, too, Leaders often feign ignorance to let rivals speak too freely. Underestimation is a gift. Use it to control the game from beneath the surface. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. There are moments when resistance is futile, when fighting back would lead to total defeat. In such times, surrender isn't weakness, it's strategy. By yielding, you gain time, avoid destruction, and prepare for a future opportunity. Submission can disarm your opponent, allowing you to manipulate from within. Power often lies in patience, not in defiance. When the Mongols invaded parts of Eastern Europe, some cities chose to surrender immediately. Instead of being destroyed, they preserved their people and culture, and later regained independence once the Mongol Empire fractured. Contrast that with cities that resisted and were wiped out entirely. Even in modern business, when a startup surrenders in a merger, it may live on through integration, influence, or a founder's new position at the top. Sometimes giving in is the beginning of winning. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Distraction is the enemy of power. Trying to do everything weakens your impact. True power comes from focus on one goal, one skill, one direction. Like the sun through a magnifying glass, concentrated energy ignites results. Don't scatter your efforts. Choose a target and apply pressure until it breaks. Andrew Carnegie became one of the richest men of his time, not by diversifying early, but by focusing obsessively on steel. While others dabbled in railroads or banking, Carnegie honed every inch of the steel production process. His focus created an empire. In your life, energy spread thin produces little. Energy directed with intensity creates power. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Power rarely comes raw. It moves through social structures, offices, networks, hierarchies. The courtier, the one who navigates these systems with grace, subtlety, and charm, often wields more power than the ruler. To succeed in any organization, you must learn the art of diplomacy. Flatter without seeming false. Yield without seeming weak. Adapt without losing yourself. Balthazar Gracian, a 17th century Jesuit priest and diplomat, wrote The Art of Worldly Wisdom, a manual for the perfect courtier. He advised restraint in speech, timing in flattery, and never outshining the master. His survival and influence across volatile Spanish courts came not from brute strength, but from emotional intelligence. Even today, the office politician who reads the room, aligns with power, and avoids unnecessary conflict often rises faster than the most skilled worker. Social grace is a weapon, and the court is everywhere.